HOA built 30 homes on my inherited land. Now I'm suing for millions they can't afford. The land was my father's legacy, 50 acres of rolling hills and whispering pines, passed down through generations. When he died last spring, I, Ethan Caldwell, returned to Willow Creek to claim it. I envisioned a quiet life, maybe a small farm. Instead, I found a nightmare: 30 pristine homes, a gated community called Pine Haven, sprawled across my inheritance. The HOA, led by Karen Whitmore, had built it all without my consent. They claimed the land was abandoned. Now I'm suing for millions they can't possibly pay, and the town is tearing itself apart. Karen was a force of nature, a real estate queen with a smile that could sell ice to penguins. She'd convinced dozens of families to buy into Pine Haven, promising a utopian community. When I confronted her at the HOA meeting, her charm turned venomous. "This land was fallow for years, Ethan," she snapped, her voice echoing in the packed room. "We brought progress. You're just a vulture circling for a payout." The crowd murmured, split between her loyalists and those who smelled something rotten. I held up my father's deed, my hands trembling. "This is theft," I said. "You built on my bloodline's legacy." The lawsuit escalated fast. My lawyer, a grizzled local named Tom, warned me Karen's HOA had deep pockets and deeper connections. Discovery revealed shady permits, forged signatures, and a surveyor who'd conveniently misread the boundaries. Karen's defense? She claimed my father had verbally agreed to sell before his death, a lie so bold it left me speechless. The town buzzed with gossip. Some called me greedy, others saw Karen as a modern-day robber baron. Every night, I stared at old photos of Dad tending the land, wondering if I was fighting for justice or revenge. The tension peaked at a public hearing. Karen arrived with her entourage, homeowners who'd sunk their life savings into Pine Haven. They glared at me, their dreams tethered to Karen's promises. I stood alone, my voice cracking as I recounted my family's history on the land. Then came the twist. Mrs. Delaney, a quiet widow who'd bought a Pine Haven home, stood up. Her hands shook as she held a crumpled letter. "I found this in my late husband's files," she said. "He was the surveyor. Karen paid him to lie about the boundaries." Gasps rippled through the room. Karen's face drained of color, her composure cracking for the first time. Mrs. Delaney's revelation shifted everything. The homeowners turned on Karen, their trust shattered. She tried to spin it, claiming she'd acted in good faith, but the damage was done. I felt a flicker of pity for her followers, ordinary people caught in her web. But pity didn't dull my resolve. The trial loomed, and I pushed for maximum damages, not just for me, but to ensure Karen's empire crumbled. The land wasn't just dirt. It was my father's sweat, my family's story. The courtroom was packed on verdict day. The judge's voice was steady. The HOA was liable for $12 million in damages, far beyond their means. Cheers and sobs erupted. Karen stared straight ahead, her jaw tight, as bailiffs led her out for related fraud charges. The homeowners faced foreclosure, their dreams of Pine Haven reduced to rubble. I won, but victory tasted like ash. The land was mine again, but scarred by bulldozers and broken lives. I drove out that night, standing where Dad used to watch the sunset. Mrs. Delaney's courage had tipped the scales, but at what cost? I'd reclaimed my legacy, yet the town I'd grown up in felt like a graveyard of trust. As I walked the empty acres, I wondered if justice had truly been served. Karen's ambition had preyed on dreams, but the homeowners weren't blameless. They'd bought into her vision without questioning. And me? I'd fought for what was mine, but the collateral damage haunted me. The land would heal, but the community might not. I left a small wooden cross where Dad's favorite oak once stood, a silent promise to rebuild something better. What do you think? Was Ethan's fight for justice worth the cost? Or did Karen's vision for progress deserve a chance? Share your thoughts on where fairness lies in this tangled mess of greed, legacy, and community.